I started about 5 years ago working on the project, and I'm an educator in Victoria where I live, and I'm always telling my students to try and have a daily practice. So I started doing that. I liked the popular culture icon of the sock monkey. I thought I would play around with that. So I embarked on a project where I decided to make one every day, and that proved to be quite daunting. So I decided to do 100, and they started to evolve and mutate and change. And by the time I got to 100, I started to do, I thought, well, I might as well go on with this project. And I did 100 paintings, and then I did 100 drawings. I really love Japanese anime and things like that, and SoCal lowbrow stuff you see in Juxtaposed magazine. And I was a punk rocker way back when, and I still kind of carry that love of subverting things, and that's what I kind of bring. I bring in all those popular culture references, but I'm making up my own as well. I really like this whole kind of international culture of DIY, making stuff out of things that you find in your home life and your environment and that kind of thing. When I'm working on my stuff, I'm almost kind of making up my own anime characters in a way. I mean, they're not exactly anime. I think it's more of a kind of personal bestiary of creatures and that kind of thing. And I do like to play around with the idea of the white box or the museum space, and I like to kind of tip it a little bit on its ear in a way. So when people come in, they're going to encounter something that they may not have expected. I worked at the Canadian Centre for Architecture in Montreal and had lots of experience of preparing artworks for exhibitions and that kind of thing. And I was really fascinated with all, the possibilities of how you present work. And, I have a kind of quirky sort of take on things, and decided to kind of play around a lot with that, with the cabinets and vitrines and things like that, and how I hang the works, and also even just drawing directly on the walls. I've had past training as a costume designer, so I started out doing that when I was starting my studies, and have always really liked to work with textiles. I also like the idea that textiles have a political history in the women's movement. There's this kind of nugget that I think the work is about, and that's that moment in childhood where you start to leave toys and play behind, but you look forward at adulthood, and it can be very bewildering and slightly frightening or disorienting and that kind of thing. So I think that's kind of an important aspect of the work.